Hello and welcome back to Community News Network. I am Levi Meyer, your host, and joining me today is my very good friend, Bruce Jacobs.
Hi, everybody.
Bruce Jacobs is in business development for an exciting company called Terra Energy. And if you're interested in lowering your electric bill and you're curious about solar or you want to talk about energy, then this episode is for you. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Bruce is going to share a lot of really important information with us. So, Bruce, I've known you now
Long time.
for a pretty long time, well over a decade. Going into our second decade,
Right.
we won't date ourselves too much. And I know that for the better part of 2.5 decades, you were a very successful, top of your game trial attorney, and a couple of years ago, you moved into the energy space. Tell us what you're doing now, and tell us about this shift into energy.
So I've been working for Terra Energy for about 2 years almost, and it to me is amazing. It's a brand new way to do energy, to do solar. It's when I heard about what they were doing, I was like, if that's what you're doing, I'm in, because the idea of mass adoption of solar and having it be something that's just a no-brainer. Like if you have your utility, you're going to be paying whatever they charge you. If you have Terra in your utility, you're going to pay a lot less. And then you have Terra will pay for the system, will own the system, will take care of the system, and you'll just pay less for electricity every month.
So Terra offers a subscription based electric service, right? That is based on a solar energy. So they come in, install solar in your home, on the roof of your home. Is it just homes, or they do?
So we do residential and commercial properties, and there's some intricacies when you get into bigger commercial properties. But really, anyone with an electric bill and a roof, we can help. And for the most part, the way it goes is we'll put the equipment on the roof. We own it. It's like signing up for DirecTV. You want to, they put stuff on your roof. They give you the box. They give you the remote. They take care of everything. Anything goes wrong, it's on them to take care of it. And you just pay less for your cable bill. Same thing for solar with Terra Energy.
Got it. And so there's no out-of-pocket cost to the
Zero.
owner. Literally, I just
$0.
decide I want to go solar. You guys show up, install solar panels and all this other stuff in my house, and then you become my new electric provider at a reduced rate.
So you're going to always be with your utility, right? You can't leave FPL. It's they got control like that. But we can get you down to a $25 connection fee with FPL. That's the minimum you can pay if you're getting your electricity from solar. And you'll pay a monthly fee to us. And usually it's the connection fee and the monthly fee, you're saving money. And it's not really just the money you're going to save month one. It's the money that you're going to save year 10, year 15, year 25. Like those are where it becomes a no-brainer.
Well, there's immediate savings from month one.
Yeah.
Right. But what you're saying is that down the line, as maybe energy becomes more and more expensive, you're locked in for a much more discounted rate than people are going to be paying in several years.
We are probably the only solution available that you don't have to pay for it. There's no liens and loans. Like everything you ever heard about traditional solar is traditional solar. We're totally different. Right, we are a solar energy company working through a subscription model, and you're going to save money long term. Particularly if are you seeing what's going on in energy?
Yeah. So I was going to say, well, what? Tell us a little bit what's happening in the energy space. I've read some things about AI, quantum computing. There's a big sort of energy gold rush, if you will. Things are changing drastically with all this mass computing that we're starting to do. How is that affecting the world of energy, and why does that matter to the consumers watching the Community News Network today?
So I think you got to think about it first just in the idea of, that we've never had enough energy, right? It's always a challenge. Are you going to use fossil fuels? You're going to nuclear? You're going to use solar, renewables, whatever it is. We can't meet the energy needs. And in Florida, it hasn't gotten as bad as, say, Texas, where they have brownouts and blackouts, and, Hawaii, where the price of energy is 2-3 times what we pay here. But with AI, there is 3 things that we're going to see a real issue with supply and demand: computer chips, land, and energy, right? Because AI, the amount of energy it takes to cool one of these huge data centers and keep everything running is a lot. I mean, it is changed the world kind of energy usage that we're talking about. And the question is, what do you do? Because, if you are with a utility that has a choice between paying, getting more money from a data center to give them the electricity than they would to give to you, you don't really have many other options. That's the scary thing about what I think people need to consider is, if we don't solve the energy problem and come with as many solutions as we can, your individual homes are going to have issues.
And so where does Terra fit into that? Tell us how that...
So Terra was born out of the idea that, solar should scale. There's a business model to be made, a better business model involving private equity guys and Wall Street investors. And basically, the more systems I put out, the more financial products we get to sell to Wall Street. So we have a model that really what we want to do is put solar everywhere. Residential properties, commercial properties, whatever it is that we can do, government buildings, and we're building that. We're growing that right now because we are something that's unique in the world. Nobody does solar the way we do it. Everyone else is trying to sell you the equipment. They're trying to make you write a big check, or put a lien on the house. That hasn't scaled.
And is Terra a new company? Do you guys is this something that started last year?
So we are 8 years old. We started in Mexico after our CEO graduated from Cornell with a double master's, won an award from MIT for this business model, and we started in Mexico. Now we're in 100 cities across Mexico. We are statewide in Florida for about 2 years. We just opened Texas. We're on our way to California next. Like, we're going to be wherever there is sun. And the idea is that it's a better, more effective, more economical cleaner way to produce energy on rooftops. They're not being used correctly. Let's make that happen.
I think it's important, and it's not only it's not just a cost saving matter, but it's a green energy conversion, right? So you can sleep a little better at night.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's definitely some people I've been talking to some government officials about the idea of just being sustainable, right? And that is, for some people, it's very important. Today, the world has kind of been changing. I think there's all kinds of people that have debates about whatever they want to debate for green energy, but the bottom line is more green in your pocket is better. So if you're saving money, that's should be a no-brainer. If you're going to choose this shirt from this store or that store and it costs you $150 more, where are you going to get it from?
That's it. I think more often than not, people are going to choose savings.
You hope. That's what we're here for.
I love that. And so Terra's large and wide. We said Mexico, Florida, Texas, and soon anywhere the light touches.
I mean, right now we're focused
except that shadowy land over there that that Mufasa told Simba not to go to.
There's some shadowlands, I'm sure. But look, right now Florida is the Sunshine State. We have a huge opportunity ahead of us, and we're here to help, right? The thing I love about what I do is it's a win-win, right? You're going to save money. We're going to manage everything for you. You're going to have solar. You're going to do something good for the world. And, you're just going to see your electric costs drop, not just month one, but, FPL just announced the largest rate hike in U.S. history a few months ago, right? Like, if energy costs do spike because of AI, which is what everyone, that seems to be talking about, that's a real concern. The only way out is to have your own source of energy for your properties. And if you are set up with Terra, you'll know in year 5, in year 12, in year 13, in year 18, exactly what your energy bill is going to be, because it's all laid out. There's no hidden, there's no gotchas, there's no hidden anything, there's no extra fees, there's no penalties. Like, you sign up, it's a 3-year commitment. There's no liens or loans. If you want to sell the house, it's not an issue. Like, all the things that people were upset about why they didn't want to go solar, that's what we were born out of. How do you fix that?
Solving all those problems.
Exactly.
Can you walk me through it, the basics? So
Sure.
Somebody says, I'm curious. I want to save money. So how do we figure out how much money? What does that process look like?
Sure. So it starts with just you see the QR code up there, and there'll be a link, I'm sure, in the
QR code's right here.
There.
right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the QR code, will take you to a landing page. You put in your information. We're going to get your electric bill. I just need one bill for each property, residential or commercial, and then we will design the system for you. We'll sit down. We have a conversation. Usually takes about half an hour to explain everything, go through it all. If you say yes, we send out someone to take pictures, and then you're in a waiting pattern. It usually takes months to get through permitting and installation and connection to the grid and permission to operate, but that doesn't cost you anything. You haven't spent anything at that time. You make your first monthly payment when your system's installed.
And then you'll determine based on the electric bill that is sent over.
The electric bill shows, there's a graph you'll see in the top right, green bar chart that shows your monthly usage for the last 12 months. We average that out. We then build a system that produces more energy, because the way solar works is basically you're pushing energy to the grid when it's bright and sunny. You're pulling energy from the grid when it's dark and cloudy. And as long as you're pushing more than you're pulling, you're getting all your electricity over the course of the year from solar and not from the grid. So you're at a connection fee of $25. That's the big picture of how it works. I've heard all kinds of, I'm going to sell my energy to the grid, and you guys are making money that way, or there's no money in selling energy to FPL or Duke or any of those guys. But if you basically get more credits than you use, you're going to save money.
Got it. And then what does that commitment look like for somebody?
So I think it is, it's a 3-year commitment. But it's not even, that's like there's no liens. We're not going to foreclose anyone's home like they've done in some solar companies. We're not trying to lock you in and mess up your sale. If you have a sale of your property, go right ahead. It's totally transferable. If the new owner wants it, they take it. If they don't want it, then we'll take the equipment, move it somewhere else, leave the roof watertight per the contract, and you'll just, if it's more than 3 years, we're just done, because it's only a 3-year commitment, so zero cost. If it's less than 3 years, we just ask you to honor the commitment.
Got it. And then after that 3-year period, they can extend for a longer period of time. Is there a longer contract?
So
and take the solar equipment away?
You're protected for 20 years in terms of price and the way this works.
You have a 20-year price lock.
So it goes up 1.9% per year, unless you change the system size, which we are adjustable. So if the kids go to college, if the kids come back from college, if you get a pool, if you get a Tesla, if you're mining Bitcoin, growing marijuana in the garage, whatever you're doing, whatever your energy use goes up, and we can provide more energy.
I got one of those AI, one of those AI robots that are walking around my house, cleaning and sweeping and doing the laundry.
All that stuff. Whatever you're using, if it's up or down, we will adjust the panels up or down as if you started that way. So we're really trying to make something that can grow across the rooftops of Florida and every other state with sun. That is a no-brainer for a homeowner or a property owner. I'm going to pay electric anyway. Why not get it from the sun and pay less?
That makes a lot of sense.
That's why I love what I do.
It really makes a lot of sense. And I know that we have a few friends that have gone Terra. I'm considering it. I'm still a little new to this process, but I'm understanding a lot more as we sit here, and the more Bruce and I talk about it, and it just continues to make more sense.
I mean, when you think about what's could be coming, right? No one knows what's going to happen in the next 5 years to energy costs. But let's say they double or triple. Like if you're with the utility, you're paying that, whatever that is. Now, is that going to break you? Not most people, because most people I see are paying $200, $300, $400, $500 a month. $1,000 a month is a big house. But if now those 2, 3, 4s are 6, 7, 8s, that hurts. And for us, like, I think everyone sees the economy today, the way prices are rising. Like, to have something that, what I love is when I see somebody sign up and I show them the savings chart, which is basically like showing them over the next 25 years, this is what 1.9% annual increases looks like. You go from $100 to $101.90. But when you see that play out, what I notice most is that most of my clients, it takes about 25 years to get back to paying what you're already paying today. And you're going to save tens of thousands of dollars. If not, the more you're using electricity, the more you're going to save. People that have lots of properties, Airbnb owners, sober living people, there's all kinds of of different businesses that have the right type of properties, right, that you can save a lot of money on your electric bill. And it's a no-brainer. Once you sign up, in a matter of months, you're solar, and then you're saving money.
That's incredible. How does it play in if somebody has a generator? Right? Does it matter? Does it change anything? Because again, these are solar panels, but they're not battery backup panels.
Sure. Well, for starters, so the idea is if you have a blackout from FPL or Duke, whatever it is, whatever your
utility provider is
right.
in the state of Florida.
If there's a blackout, then all solar and all electric in that area is going to shut off because you can't feed the grid electricity while they're working on it. People get hurt that way. If you have a generator, there's a transfer switch that you install in your house, and it will automatically transfer the power from the meter, from the main meter, over to the generator, and then the generator will kick in. So when you have solar, right, if you have batteries, which are coming, right, we are already, we have launch batteries in Texas, so there are, you can get your system and also get batteries all under a subscription service. With no out of pocket, it doesn't. We're not charging for that.
Same as
same model, right? But if you have batteries, then you don't need a generator. You don't need to pay for the gas. You don't need to deal with the fumes. You don't need to deal with having that giant, piece of equipment in your house. The batteries will you'll switch over just like you were switching the generator to the batteries, and the batteries basically work with the panels. So as the sun hits the panels, it's going to charge the batteries up. As the sun leaves, the batteries will start to drain. If you have enough batteries, and you can buy whatever you feel comfortable, if you have enough battery backup, you'll get through. I say it like this: like, it's not. You have to be mindful still with energy. You don't want to blow your AC, leave the windows open, and turn on all the lights and fans. You're going to burn your battery out that much faster through the evening, but it will be back tomorrow. And once it's on and the sun comes out, you'll have power again.
Got it. So it really doesn't interfere in any way differently than what people already have. If I have a generator, then it's going to transfer over to my generator. If I have battery, it's going to transfer over to battery. And currently in the state of Florida, you guys aren't doing batteries. You're doing that in Texas and expect to be rolling that out in Florida soon.
There will be coming, yeah.
Cool. I like that. So I think we get a bigger picture of what it is. We briefly touched on, with so much context here is in whether this is, we're talking about this being for people's homes. And I guess my question is, we've briefly touched on government buildings, multifamily buildings, I guess HOA communities. Like, is there really any limitations to where, to who can partake in this program with you guys, or who can partake in Terra Energy's cost savings?
So the savings is really something that comes from what the utilities allow. So with any residential property, any commercial property, you can put solar on it for sure. And you will get your electricity from the solar and not from the grid if you have enough roof space. The issue comes down to what type of account you have with the utilities. So there's basically residential, there's commercial non-demand, and commercial demand. Anytime you get over about $1,500 a month in your commercial property building, you look on page 2 of your bill, or you look for it, where they're describing the type of account you have. If it says demand, well, you're paying the highest price that the utility charges. You're basically subsidizing everyone else in their jurisdiction. If it says non-demand, or if it's under $1,500, you're going to save just like if you were in a residential home. So, I always encourage people that own properties that they are paying the electric on, send me the bill, right? And some people just want to be green. Some people want to have sustainable energy as opposed to being, on fossil fuels. And what's different about us is we will own the equipment. We will pay to put it out. You will pay a monthly fee. Your electric costs will not be changing dramatically, but you will be green in a commercial demand property. Those are anything with lots of refrigeration, big buildings with, once you get over 2 stories, it really becomes, a little bit of a limitation for us. But, there's a lot of 1-story offices that, would be perfect for what we do. warehouses, the strip malls. Like, if we have actually programs that we do for institutional landlords. It's kind of like a revenue share program where the landlords will give all of their tenants solar, and then they'll have tenants who are happy to come because they are living in a place where they'll get less expensive electricity. But the gap between what you pay for Terra to do the solar and what they were paying to FPL, like, there's room to make revenue for the landlord, to make savings for the tenant. I mean, I think it's a model that is designed to grow, because we have millions of rooftops in Florida and they're not being used right.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I had a lot of ideas, actually. I won't share them on this show, for other ways that your rooftops can be better used, including solar. And I don't think that they would eliminate in solar. But wasted space is what I say. They're just sitting up there,
Just sitting there.
just taunting the birds.
I mean, the truth is, if you have solar, it's going to shade the roof. That makes it easier to cool the house. It's going to strengthen the roof, right? We had 3 storms last year on the West Coast. All our systems came through fine. Neighbors had major roof problems because when you build everything we do is Miami-Dade County hurricane code compliant category 5. That's going, when you drill into the roof structure, the trusses of the roof, and you put the rails and you seal everything and secure everything, it's all going to be, it's not going anywhere during a storm. And it provides rigidity to the roof system. It strengthens the roof system. So, one of the other benefits, I think, and you as the realtor, I'm sure you can, but if you list your house as, solar, that's going to attract eyeballs. People care about that. People want that. And if you can give someone a house with solar on it that they're just saving money without any long-term commitments, and they don't have to do it if they don't want to. I think that according to Zillow, I don't know if you ever see the Zillow study they did on solar.
I don't think that I did. No.
So there was a study that Zillow did where they looked at like a sales for a year across the country, and they said it's a 4 to 5% bump in your price and sells about 20% faster. Now, I'm not the expert in that. Zillow did what they did, but
this is not Bruce Jacobs at Terra Energy telling you that your home's going to sell for 4 to 5% more.
That's Levi Meyer doing that right now.
This is Bruce Jacobs telling you that Zillow said that your home may sell for 4 to 5 more, or that homes that sold with solar energy sell for 4 to 5%.
I think if people want to have solar, they're gonna. If they see the opportunity to go, you're gonna have an advantage in the market. That's my theory.
Yeah. No, I've seen it where people see solar panels and they're very curious and they're interested. And does that save money? Does that mean I don't have to pay? And what is it? I think a lot of people still don't know very much about solar. And I think that actually leads me into my next question for you. And that is, what are the biggest barriers that you face when you are talking to homeowners about their properties and whether or not they qualify and all that stuff?
So,
or they're talking about the switch to solar. So what are these big? What are the biggest?
The biggest barriers I see are everyone believes that they know how solar works and what it is, because I had somebody who had some kind of horror story from traditional solar. Right? Traditional solar is a model that didn't scale for lots of reasons, but the main reason is it put all of the risk and responsibility and expense on the owner. Right? Everyone and their mother, from the lender to the digital sales guys, the marketing guys, the salespeople, the permitters, the installers, everyone and their mother has profit and overhead, and that all goes into your deal. And whatever referral fees they put out, like all of that gets tacked on, and they're driving around in Cybertrucks, and you're paying way more than you need to pay for electricity for solar. And they're telling you in X years, 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, whatever the number is, it's going to all pay off. Maybe, but it didn't for people. Sometimes the companies went out of business and there were solar orphans, people that couldn't get anyone to help them. Now that their systems, there will be problems eventually. But, the whole idea that I run into a lot is people have this preconceived notion that solar is somehow going to take advantage of you because of the way people were, sending out these waves of door knockers and trying to, hard pressure sales. Like, that's not what we do. Our whole model is based on, if you want it, you'll have solar. We're going to own it, take care of it, take care of you. We insure everything. Every system has $1 million policy just to have solar in Florida. but we add $5 million of excess coverage. Like the whole idea is it's not your headache. It's not going to be your problem. If you have an issue, you call us. Something going on with the roof, you call us. Something going on with the system, you call us, right? And we get people calling us about their refrigerator sometimes. But, the idea is, we're here for a long-term play. We would like to be your energy provider for decades. And the best way to do it is to keep you happy, which is a big part of what we do. Like, if there is a problem and we've broken eggs, like that's not, every other company, it's hard to do 67 counties of municipalities that all have different rules and procedures for permitting and stuff. But we're going to do our best to get it right. And if there's a problem, we're going to do our best to make it right.
That brings up a question for me. What does it look like for somebody who signs with Terra, has their 3-year minimum, their 10 or 20-year price guarantee, but we know that in real estate cycles, in today's world, people are less likely to be in their home for 10 or 20 years. They end up being in their home for arguably 5 to 7 years. And so what happens? I sell my home. You say it's transferable. So the new owner, I understand what happens, right? They can assume this contract. Nothing changes. They just benefited from the smart decision that you made 3 or 5, 7 years prior.
Exactly.
But I moved to a house now that doesn't have a solar, that doesn't have Terra energy yet. What does that look like for me now switching to this new home? Do I sign up as a new customer? Is my agreement from the previous home transferable to my new house, or how does that look like? What does that look like?
So if you are our customer and you move to another place, that's fine. I mean, every time we do a system, so like to kind of segue off that question, a lot of times what happens is people have to change their roof even more than when they move. That seems to be an issue that comes up a lot. And for us, we'll come out, we'll take the system off, we will store it, we will put it back. That doesn't cost anything. But we ask that you honor the 3-year commitment again, because that's an expense for us. So if we had to move you, we would again ask you to honor the 3-year commitment, but you're going to save money. And we would keep the price point where we were. We would just want the commitment to stay.
But I could, in theory, transfer the solar from house A to house B when I purchase the new one. You guys will just assign that or shift that over the new address. And then with that reinstallation, ask for another 3-year commitment on the energy bill.
Right. And we'll probably end up giving you, when we do referral fees for, if you have, if you were to get the new owner to sign up, or you get your brother to sign up, or your mother-in-law, or the neighbor down the street, or your former teacher, whatever it is, like if you know people that we can help, that is a win-win-win for everybody. You're going to make money, they're going to make money, or they're going to save money. We're going to, grow the company. And that's the vision. There's millions of homes to get to, and I will get there faster if I'm working with more people.
Bruce, you got all the answers.
I mean, I've been doing this for minutes.
Okay, if you got questions, Bruce has answers. I think that's the best way to say it.
Look, it is a no-brainer. It is, when you, at the end of the day, what I keep hearing from people is, what's the catch? There's no catch. I wouldn't be involved in any of this. I've never been involved in solar because I thought there were tons of catches. When I left the law, I helped a lot of people as a lawyer. I really love being a lawyer. I love doing this probably more because it's a lot less stressful. There's no judge looking at you going, why didn't you get your discovery filed or whatever nonsense. But this is an opportunity that is super simple, super turnkey, right? If you say yes, I take some pictures. You're gonna have solar in a matter of months. You might answer the door once or twice, right? If you want to help us grow this and know people, I mean, there are people I know who are just doing this now. It started as a side gig, and now they're doing it, trying to help us get to more and more people, because there is a blue ocean here. Nobody does what we do.
So in closing, let's say that somebody who has been watching this episode and they're still on the fence for some reason. I'm not sure yet why, but they're still on the fence. And what advice would you give to that person who would be deciding now whether or not to go solar and whether or not the subscription model works for them? Somebody's watched this whole episode and they're still not sure what next steps look like.
Look, there's always going to be people who are going to wait, right? And if the electric costs do go up, which is what people are concerned about, our prices are going to go up too. Right now is the best time because the prices are not going to go down. They're just going to go up.
We're not seeing
Right?
energy bills go down.
Exactly. I mean, I haven't. And FPL just asked for the largest rate hike in U.S. history. So, give me your bill. Let me sit down and talk with you, and you'll see.
Awesome. Well, Bruce, thank you for joining us today and taking your time to educate our viewers. And to the viewers, I recommend that you click that link up there and schedule some time to talk to Bruce. Thank you for being here. Again, my name is Levi Meyer. And if you're watching this and you're one of my clients, reach out. I'd love to chat a little bit more on the subject, and we'll connect you with Bruce as well to figure out if this makes sense for you. And it sounds to me like it does. So thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.